What's up? This is Neil the Aspie here. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you are all well. And, so in this video, I will be talking about the early symptoms of autism, early signs of autism. These are ones that typically occur during toddlerhood. But first, I need to say first, my very next video is going to be a two-part series. I schedule this one to take place on Friday. I will record this Friday afternoon and I schedule to upload the part 1 of my two-part series. This two-part series is going to be about you know autism and sensory issues. More importantly, not just sensory issues, but it's also about panic attacks and more importantly, like how would I typically be panicking? What would be the signs that I would be panicking due to sensory overload? Whether it be a severe panic attack or a more mild one. So, yeah, and the part 2 of the two-part series will be how to deal with someone on the spectrum and how to handle them having a very bad panic attack. So this will be the two-part series. I schedule to record this, like I said, on Friday, and I schedule to upload it Saturday morning. And this Sunday is when I schedule the part 2 of it. All right, so before we get into any further delay, now let's talk about the early symptoms of autism. So, symptom number 1, does the toddler typically have delayed speech? Are they nonverbal to begin with, such as like not responding to their name after they know their name? That's a sign that they could be nonverbal to begin with. Let's say they start off nonverbal. Well, are they not fully verbal until they're about 3.5 to 4 years old? Because, I mean, that's another sign. Another sign is, do they have preoccupation with lining objects up? That's another sign. So, lining objects up repeatedly is kind of the early sign, but the way it works in the atypical brain, more importantly, the autistic brain, typically sees it as like lining objects up is the way of detecting familiarity with objects, like being able to know what they are and be familiar with these objects. Now, be forewarned, this is a symptom that can happen at any stage of life for someone on the spectrum. Because heck, even I do this a lot. Sometimes, let's say in the morning, I wake up and I just ate breakfast, and then I am about to take my vitamins, specifically the vitamins that I don't get enough of in my diet alone. So what I do is I grab all of my vitamins out and then I line them all up one by one before I take them. And I do it in like the exact same order every time. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the lining objects up action that I exhibit. So, these are kind of referred to as repetitive behaviors scientifically, yeah, but to make it sound more appropriate and make it sound more formal, let's just call them repetitive actions. Because I do not like to use the word repetitive behaviors because, I mean, that's kind of easy to misunderstand. So, to make it more easy to understand, that's why I just say repetitive actions. So, yeah, like I said, it's like that's another sign. Like for me, My level of being familiar with them is I line all my vitamins up, like I said, before I take them. This way I can be familiar with them. This way I know which supplements that I'm taking at what time of the day and which one that I should wait until the evening to take. Like, for instance, I wait until the evening to take my magnesium after dinner, because I mean, magnesium helps me sleep, so I wait until dinner time before I take my magnesium. But okay, so now that we squared the vitamins off, I'm gonna quit talking about those vitamins for now because I'm gonna get too carried away. But I'll talk about them in another video. Maybe in another video I'll talk about which vitamins I supplement because I don't get enough of these certain vitamins in my diet. That'll have to wait for a different video. But with that in mind, another sign is, does the individual have repetitive actions, like I said? Like an early repetitive action might be to walk in circles repeatedly, spin in circles repeatedly, and or open and close cabinet doors repeatedly. I'm sorry guys, that's just my dog. He's out the door begging to come in, but he's going to have to wait. But with that being set aside, yeah, another sign is, do they have unusual attachment to objects? Like, do do they have obsession with certain objects, or do they have obsession with animals? Because let me tell you, I personally had obsessions with insects when I was at my early toddler stages of autism. Like, I would be obsessed with flies at that age. I'd be playing with flies when I was like, let's say 2 or 3. Because with that being in mind, like I said, I wasn't fully verbal until I was about 3.5, almost 4s when I was fully verbal. So yeah, another sign. Now this is a very big one. Um do they have preoccupation? Like, do they get upset when their routine or ritual is changed? This is a huge early indication. Like, they might get upset if their routine gets changed, because I mean that's kind of what makes the individual on the spectrum feel more comfortable and truly safe, and that's why they might get upset if their routine or ritual is messed up by something. So that's a huge one. Now another very big one is sensory issues. Does the individual have sensory issues, and are they susceptible to sensory overload, panic attacks due to smells, sounds, lights, or textures? Yeah, food textures even can cause a bad sensory overload. But I mean, you might typically see this more in like the toddler years, or even if they're older. Like, as if for me, there are certain textures of food that I don't like. I mean, I really don't like um textures of certain meats to be really soft. I mean, I get overstimulated if my chicken, for instance, is too soft, which is why I prefer my chicken to be hard when I eat it, a little bit more hard cooked when I eat it rather than soft cooked. That's kind of my preference. And last but certainly not least, is there like social anxieties? That could be a final one. Like, are they super shy around strangers? This is a big one, especially I get this all the time. This can happen in the late stages, even. I mean, I feel socially anxious around strangers, especially. But I'll talk about that in another video, though. That will be a separate two-part series. My second two-part series will be about autism and social anxiety. That'll be the second two-part series. But my first two-part series is going to be the link of autism and severe panic attacks, and more importantly, how to handle that situation if you're in it. So that's going to be my soonest upcoming series. Because, like I said, this one I plan to record this. I schedule this one to be recorded Friday morning, and I schedule to upload this first video on Saturday morning. And part two, I schedule um to record it and upload it on Sunday. So that'll be the part two. Well, guys, that's about all that I have to talk about for this video. I know it's kind of short, but I hope you all enjoyed this. Now, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe if you're new as well, and please leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Like, do you have any future requests of any kind, or does what I say cut it for you for right now? Well, but also share and like on this as well, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss an update. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all later. Bye!